It catalyzes the reawakening of the most innovative minds, professionals, executives, entrepreneurs, thinkers, policymakers, and HR leaders. And they shape the workplace policies and practices in Africa and the rest of the world. The Work Festival has hosted over 11,000 participants, 5,000 organizations, 350 speakers who have delivered 1,000 sessions in 8 years, with prolific testimonials from their participants. Well, this year they plan to host 6,000 participants in Lagos and virtually, and they'll of course be joining the quest to advance the mainstreaming of a thriving, productive, technology-driven work experience in Africa and beyond. Well, let's talk to Erefa Koka, who is the founder and HR Expo Africa Limited, to understand these trends for the upcoming conference. It's good to have you join us on Business Nigeria. Ms. Koka, can you hear me? Well, thank you so much for joining us. Very interesting how we get to focus on the HR personnel, which they are like the backbone of every organization. But I want to ask really, what prompted this initiative? I mean the HR Expo Africa Limited.
Dr. Joyce.
Ms. Koka, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us in Business Nigeria. I'm asking what prompted this initiative. I'm talking about the HR Expo conference.
Right. When we started the conference in 2016, our first thing was the future of work. And for us, we're focused on how do we bring, this was pre-pandemic, how do we bring the global HR practice to Africa, primarily to Nigeria? How do we get to the forefront of what is going on within the HR ecosystem and making sure the ordinary Nigerian citizens get to know the ordinary HR officer who is not able to travel. So prior to this, there was no virtual conference. There's no way you can log in and watch a conference anywhere in the world. So you have to be something, you have to attend the all physical event. So for us, it was how do we bring this big speakers, global speakers, plus local speakers in Nigeria into a room where we discuss what is going on within the HR ecosystem. So we started that with our first edition in 2016, Think the Future of Work. And that was the whole idea of starting the HR Expo Africa. It's just, for us a room where we're brainstorming, talking about the future of work, talking about the things that future trends in the workplace, things that are affecting the workforce, and we're providing solution and letting people go back to their organizations to deliver, to implement what they've learned in the conference.
Just talking about trends, what are the recent trends in the global human resource market, and how is Nigeria really keying into this?
Right. I'm sure you hear this all the time, artificial intelligence. So that's the major trend. Everyone it's AI, it's data analytics, it's automation. HR processes are being automated, data metrics are being implemented. Performance management systems are being automated, the remote work and hybrid, flexi work, employee wellness. It's a very current trend. And then talent management, again, because there are talent challenges everywhere in the world, and most especially in Nigeria, where we have our own fair share of talent, brain drain from people leaving the country. So how do we manage our talent, given the constraint that we have? So those are the trends within the HR sector.
Talk to us about the theme for this year and, of course, your expectation for this event.
So the theme for this year, again, 10 events later, is the future of work, but this time AI-powered engagement, because AI is pretty much part and parcel of every aspect of the workplace, not just HR. So how do we use AI to power engagements within the workforce? HR is the forefront of the engagement. So if I'm feeling poorly, I'm going to go talk to HR in the office. If I'm feeling like, oh, my line manager feels my performance is dwindling, they're going to talk to the HR. So how do we then embrace this AI-powered engagement and use it for the future of work? Again, 10 years ago, there was no AI. We're talking even 5 years ago. No, I would say 6, 7 years ago, remote work was not something we wanted to talk about in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And AI it was always there. As somebody said, our speaker last year said AI has always been a part of parcel of what we do. It's just that now it's a key trend and it's being is part and parcel of what we do. He gave us a sample of by making us type something on our mobile phone, and he told us AI has always been there. So it's something that we're not aware, but it's now part and parcel of the workplace. And we want to bring this conversation to the professionals within the industry, so we're not left behind, especially HR professionals. We're not left behind in terms of what we need to be doing along the AI space within the HR sector. Because if you look at recruitment, AI is on there. So the time that you spend shortlisting CVs is now, if you're spending an hour doing screening, you can screen your CVs in less than 10 minutes with AI within your tools. There's even AI interview. So you can interview people before seeing them. So AI could have done your second step of interview and give you the first batch of three to five people that you need to see. So it's part and parcel of what we do. Is how do we then make sure that we upskill ourselves? So this conference is how do we keep up with the trend? For us, how do you upskill yourself as an HR professional to make sure that you're using AI appropriately and that you're using it to benefit both yourself and the organization? And what's more, yeah, carry on.
So I'm just thinking, talking a bit about the role of technology in advancing, of course, just like you said, organizational performance, and how Africa is really faring in that space. If you take a look at a lot of people, young people particularly, have decided to work from home more than the older generation who feel that they have to clock in at work before they get the job done. So we've seen that hybrid mode of operation in most companies or organizations. But do you think we have the, what should I say, the technical framework now to support this AI-driven economy that we've decided to adopt?
We have no choice. We have to do it, right? As I said, the young people. So I started my HR career in talent acquisition, recruitment, right? And never did I think that the first question a talent will be asking me, a candidate will be asking me is it fully remote in Nigeria? It's not something that, it's not something that you thought you'll hear, right?
Yeah.
Or flexi work. So organizations have no choice but to adapt. So it's adapt or die. Because the people that we have a multi-generation, we have a multi-generation talent in the workforce. There's still people. I remember at the first HR conference, one of our speaker, Dr. Frank Alvaji, was talking about somebody that was working in a place, and they told him to work remotely from home, and the wife kept saying, the wife left, and she said, after 5 days, she said, my dear, tell me the truth. Have you been sacked? We know how to deal with this, And then eventually, the guy said, I've not been sacked. I'm just working remotely. She said, no, we